This is the Geek Girl's Guide to Blogging because every girl needs a blog, whether it be for fun or profit. Today we're going to be talking about WordPress. Now, if you have a WordPress blog, there is a free version, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the kind that you get when you pay to host your blog. I know I'm talking about spending money, but you can get hosting deals that do not cost that much. And what that's going to do for you is it's going to give you a place where you can customize completely. You can put advertising on it, you can have your affiliate deals, and you are going to look like a professional. Yes, you could start out on Blogger, Tumblr, LiveJournal for free, but I'm telling you, if you want to make money with your blog, you want to go with WordPress. Take a look at this. Here's one of the things people don't understand. A lot of people think when they think about WordPress, they think about that typical blog post at the top, next blog post underneath, next one underneath that with a sidebar. And that is the old school way of WordPress. But a lot has changed since then. This sort of static front page, grid style WordPress blog is becoming very, very popular. It's kind of a way, again, of making a better upfront presentation, something that looks more like a traditional website, but still allows you to blog in the easy way the old style used to. This particular theme is called Simple and Bright, and I'll give you some information about how to find this theme if you want to do it. So what we've got here, let me go back up to the top a little bit. I know it was rotating and making you all crazy. So we've got our banner at the top, our menu, and then this is a slider which links to some of my more interesting stories. I can pick whatever I want to feature here. And then as we go down, we've got our sort of mission statement, and then 6 boxes. Now I have to tell you, and you can read about this on the blog, this theme actually only came with 3 boxes, but I wanted to make 6, and it was not easy. I know a little bit about programming coding, but I don't know a lot. And this was not a simple coding job, but I did not let it beat me, and I made it work, and you can read about that in a blog post. So each one of these is a link at the bottom that leads you to a page. Now, when you're looking at WordPress, there are 2 options. There are posts and there are pages. There's actually more options, but we're going to start with that. Posts are for those dated things that you want to say sort of quickly and on a regular basis. You want to talk about this trip that you took out to this cool thrift store today. That would be a post. If you want to keep a long list of all of your favorite thrift stores that you've ever visited, that would be a page. In this case, we've got a page devoted completely to blog hosting and domain names. This is information that for the most part is not going to change. It's basics for people who want to learn how to start a blog. They come here and they can read about the pros and cons of free hosting versus paid hosting, and then moving on, final decision, my recommendations. And as you can see, we've got a sidebar over here, and the sidebar has advertising in it. So if anybody clicks through, I get a kickback on whatever it is they buy. Let's back up. So that's a page. This site, as I said, is set up with all of these pages at the top because this site is really about teaching people how to do the same thing over and over again, how to build a blog and make money. If we move down, this is now where my blog is. I'm going to click on here. And this is a blog post. As you can see, it says Our Blog, and this probably looks a little bit more like what you're used to seeing when you think of a WordPress blog. In this case, the first thing I've got on the top is this great article. It's an interview with Caroline Moses of the Caro Diaries, where she talks about how she went from just blogging for fun to starting to become a bit of a blog celebrity. On this particular blog, in this particular theme, this is how the blog posts lay out. They don't actually put a photo, a thumbnail on this front page. Usually they do, but this particular theme doesn't. And it stacks everything up with a short summary and then continue reading to go on. And then, of course, there are dates on each of these because these are the posts and that's what they're about. And again, we've got a sidebar and on we go. Let's go back out to our main page. So When you start thinking about building out your own blog, you're going to want to decide what's important to you. If you really just want to put a daily update or a weekly update, then a regular old school blog style is probably fine. If you're trying to build something a little bigger, you might want to use something more like this, or there's even grid style, that ones that look like Pinterest, where you just have big blocks of information, photos, and posts. The one thing you want to make sure you always have are social media icons in two places. These are my links so that people can follow me on Twitter, and then you'd also add your Facebook or whatever other accounts you have here. I also have a mailing list that's also in my footer here. And let's go back into this blog post one more time. At the bottom of this, if I do that without making you crazy, these are social media buttons that people click in order to share this particular story with their friends. This is really important because even though you really kind of need to blog for yourself and you want to, obviously you want people to read your work, which means you want people to share your work. By adding these little links at the bottom, again, really easy to do. There's plugins that take care of all of this for you. Then people can share instantly. If you were going to build this site without WordPress, you were just going to build it from scratch, you would have to have some serious design and programming skills. Uh, Back in the day, I don't want to date myself, but back in the day before WordPress, all of this had to be hand-coded in HTML, and it was really tricky. But what happened when they built WordPress is it takes care of all of that for you by just loading that, installing that, and when you get your hosting company usually will help you do that. They'll install WordPress for you, and then you're just going to flip some switches, and you're going to have this blog up and running in under an hour. Customizing it, making it distinctly your own is going to take a little bit longer, and you may find that you're going to want to change the look on a regular basis. That's another thing that's great about WordPress is you can totally do that. If you want to be all pink and square this week, but next month you're into blue and round bubbles, you can do that too. And when you make that change, it's like redecorating your room. All of your content stays there. You don't lose any of your posts or pages or comments. You just basically are redecorating. It's like putting on a new coat of paint and changing the furniture around in the room. It's still the same room and everything's still there that you need. So that's a quick look at WordPress and how it looks on this end. We're going to take a look at the inside of WordPress, the back end, and how it all works in the next video. But in the meantime, if you come to WPGeekGirl.com and sign up for our newsletter, we will send you a free ebook called 30 Blog Ideas to help get you started. This is a real quick read that just has all kinds of inspirational ideas that will help you pick out what it is you want to blog about, because honestly, the hardest thing about blogging is just picking your topic. So come visit us at WPGeekGirl.com and we're going to help you get started on the road to making a blog for fun and or profit.